So, have you thought of a song to sing for tonight?
I don't know. It depends on the audience, I guess.
You will be singing for the greatest knights and all of the Kunabillions who wish to hear your music. I heard you've made a song you've been saving for that day. Can't wait to hear it.
Maybe Mr. Emerson can recommend me one?
Don't doubt yourself, Lucia. You're giving our leader a break from composing his music for centuries.
Why not yours, Luna?
I'm not good with music. I can only follow his direction based on my singing ability. Just perform the one you have tonight. I'm sure it'll be wonderful.
But just when I was about to finish my sentence, a soft finger pressed onto my lips. Then a sweet smell lingers around me. Cinnamon. So lovely, that smell.
I'll be there to guide you until the very end. It's a promise.
The smell was so wonderful. I couldn't even make up a word to describe it. I even remembered making a song about that sweet smell. Such wonderful memories were made. I wonder if I still have that song in my collection. It's going to be very hard to find it. I've already made so much throughout the last 100 years being in the castle. Not once have I ever performed my music in public. Only to the poor and Luna. Mr. Emerson will listen to them too, but he always says that my music is never traditional. It's a shame. I cannot share my music with anyone else. However, I'm still happy to perform for my friends, including Luna herself.
By the way, how is your father doing?
Huh? Oh, he's doing well, but... I look at the ground and thought of my recent events with my father. We're not even blood related, but he is the man that saved my life from when I was a child. I owe my life to him. I dedicated him as the family I have in my life. He would feel the same way about me, but...
Is something wrong?
Just a week ago, around a week ago, he started avoiding me.
Why would he do that?
I don't know. He's always so happy all the time. Always smiling and baking lots of apple pies for the poor and myself. We would gaze upon the stars together and eat so many apple pies every time I come home from training. Those were the happy days. He stopped smiling at me. He stopped baking apple pies for me. He wouldn't talk to me either. He would shake his head on me, no matter how many times I asked what's wrong. It's like he became a completely different person.
I'm not sure what happened between you two, but you should solve this quickly.
I know, but he would look at me with those strange blank-like eyes. It's almost as if he suddenly changed himself into some puppet or something.
That's a strange thing for you to say.
I'm serious, Luna. I have lived with him since I was a child, and he never acted that way before.
Are you sure about that? Very, very odd.
If I may interrupt, my goddess.
Hello, Tyrus. What are you doing here?
Just waiting for an available servant who can escort me back to my room, seeing as my parents are unavailable at the moment.
Another day with your new friend?
How did you know?
Oh, come on, Tyrus. Everyone is talking about it already. You've also been smiling a lot lately. Was it because of him?
No, I wasn't smiling. I haven't been smiling lately either.
But he looks so cute when he's blushing.
Ahem. Please, allow me to apologize for not attending your concert, Goddess Luna. I was unaware of the last-minute change this morning.
You don't need to apologize. You can always catch more of them next time.
As I was about to laugh, a huge bird came behind Tyrus. His shadow completely covered the little bird, who stood up calmly and took the servant's huge wing.
It was good to greet you two again. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Goddess, I should get used to this by now. Both Mr. and Mrs. Emerson must have really wanted to protect him. In fact, he is the only child the Emerson family have.
Oh, don't be so hard on him. He's growing up to become a great knight to the Emerson family.
But he's unable to move around the castle without assistance. He can't even see how beautiful Kunabella is.
You shouldn't worry about him that much. He will adapt himself in the future. I would suggest you should worry about yourself first. You need to take care of that ugly spirit of yours.
Must you remind me of that?
I'm sorry, but you have to face it. Remember what I said to you last night?
No.
It's alright. I can remind you. You are what you are, Lucia. You can change yourself, or someone else will change you. Just know that you are one of us, and that spirit is not going to take you.
Miss Arya Goddess, can you take this?
Of course.
Luna and I were shaken up by the sudden call of two children running towards her. Not looking at me, they smiled at Luna. They don't seem familiar to me.
Hey, didn't I say I should go first?
No way! Didn't Mom say I should always go first?
Well, Mom isn't here, so I'm handing my gift first.
Hey! Don't you remember that I'm a lady? There's a code in this nest for a reason. All men should respect all female birds and goddesses because...
Quiet, you! I don't want to hear about this again.
Hey! Don't push me!
Oh my goddess.
Luna began to sigh heavily, and she shook her head at them. This is not a good sign. Luna is not the type who would deal with children, especially these kind. Children, please! Stop fighting!
Lucia, let me handle this.
No, Luna! I can...
It's alright. They don't seem to be obedient enough to listen to you.
Oh no, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Now, you two are a family. Why must you fight?
We're not family.
You're just jealous because Mom loves me more.
You don't have any priorities. I'm stronger than you are.
Oh yeah, I could be an Arya goddess when I grow up, and you can't just because you're a boy. You can only become a warrior in the future. Mom and Dad said so. What else can you do in the future if you're going to neglect all the homework you never did for school?
What? How dare you?
Face it, you're never going to have a future. Just look at me. I'm planning to become a knight for Kunabella. I have better skills with heavy weapons than your lousy light weapons. You're like a baby, always wanting attention, food, and someone to change your clothing for you. Face it, you're nothing.
You've been nothing but a nuisance in my life. I wish you never existed in the first place.
How could you say that to this poor little girl?
This is why I dislike children. Always so immature.
Luna, please! How long has it been since I saw her that way? For so long, I have seen many good sides of her. However, there lies a beast inside of her. It sleeps inside of her, peacefully. It now releases itself from her body. Please don't do this to them. God is gracious, you're so noisy. Watch and learn, stupid boy. I apologize, my lady. Please excuse my rowdy little brother, for he is not worthy of your presence. Perhaps he is not worthy of existing in this world at all. Please accept my gift as a token of my gratitude.
You speak well. Then I shall humbly accept your gift. And maybe you're right. That boy is not worth my presence anyway.
Luna! Goddess, I should be used to this by now. But the way she treats children is just not fair.
I'm so glad you agreed with. Come on, stupid boy. We're going home. And I'm going to tell Mom that you pushed me. Oh, so the stupid boy decides to run? What a coward. Please excuse me.
Poor boy. Why does he have to be treated that way? Is it because of that little girl is taking advantage of the rules? For all female birds to be respected the most? Why?
Thank you very much, my goddess.
I hope to see you again.
What the heck was that?
Lucia, please don't scream in front of the others. That's very immature of you.
How could you say that to this poor little boy? You could have at least been a little nicer to him.
I wish I could, but somehow I can't stand children. And I can't take back what I just said. Maybe you can tend to him for me.
Well, why don't you tend to him yourself?
I can't just talk to him like this.
Liar, you're just looking for an excuse to not talk to him at all. I'll be right back.
I'll wait for you.
Yes, I didn't want to pay attention to her anymore. I just wanted to run and find this boy. He could be suffering so badly right now. The way he tries to hold back his tears. It's so horrible to see him that way. Poor boy, where could he be? I'm sure he ran around here.
Are you Lucia Lock Crimson, Luna's secondary goddess?
Oh, it's you. I really need to stop getting scared out of nowhere. It makes me look like I'm screaming for nothing in public again. How may I help you?
Please forgive me for taking up your time, but will you accept this gift from me?
Oh, you have one for me too? No one has given me one before.
Of course! Why would I exclude you from our home?
Exclude myself from my home? Goddess, this little girl probably has a lot to learn about me. I don't want her to be treated differently from others. It's not going to help her future.
Anyways, here. It's a bunch of cookies I made for you, Luna.
You didn't have to tell me what it was. Thank you! No one has ever given me a gift before.
Really? Why wouldn't they honor you as our second goddess?
You haven't heard of it. It's hard to explain. You shouldn't take those, Lucia. No, it can't be. Do you want to die so much, Lucia? No, not you again!
My lady, are you alright?
I am fine. What if these cookies are dangerous? Please, don't do this to me! This little girl will be very sad if I don't take them! Don't take them! These cookies are not worth anything! Those things will kill you! Stop it! Please, just shut up already!
My lady, are you okay?
Stay away from me!
What? Why?
Please, please, please! I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm not sick! What if it's right again? It did get me out of trouble a bunch of times before. It once saved me from a mysterious spear that was launched into my direction. By accident, of course. But I got in trouble once for putting in the wrong music sheet for Luna's daily performance. It is because the voice told me to put that there instead. Maybe it would be better, but... Alright, Lucia. Calm down. Breathe in. Breathe out. No, it's not working. What should I do? I should just say something to that little girl already, or else. Sorry.
What?
I was acting very strange earlier. I shall humbly accept your gift.
Really? Thank you. I hope you like them.
Goddess, does this thing have to ruin everything again? I suddenly hear the loud whispers of my people. Please, just stop. I hate this. Why can't you just leave me alone so I can bring smiles to my people again? I wrapped my hands around my head and I fell to my knees. I tried to hide my face just to get everyone to stop staring at me, but I can still feel it. All those disappointed eyes glaring at me. Please stop. Please. No one would want a fool of an Arya goddess. It's the voices. Yes, it was the voices that told me strange things. Please believe me. I am not here to ridicule Kunabella. This curse I bear. Please, listen to me. Please.
Milady?
Suddenly, back in the light, I was awoken by my skirt being tugged from one side. I looked over to see who that voice was. A child. A little boy that possessed such rare lavender eyes that were not as bright as mine. That boy. He was from earlier. Why did he come back? And why come to me?
Let's go somewhere else.
The child grasped my wrist and pulled me off the ground. We started running, not caring of the people staring at us. Most of all, the loud whispers and the voices had suddenly vanished. What was going on? Little boy, where are you taking me? This place looks very familiar to me. Isn't this the classroom I already left? It doesn't look like no one is here.
Alright, now we just lockpick this thing. Ta-da!
Oh, so you just... Huh? Do you know how much trouble you're going to get for trespassing?
Trespassing? Lady, you got the wrong idea. We're just borrowing the room for a bit.
Then how are we going to lock the room again?
I thought you were able to handle it. I mean, aren't you an Arya goddess? The one that can do, anything?
Excuse me? You think I'm going to help you get away with the crime you committed?
Aren't you trespassing too?
That little boy, he's making me do things that I'm not supposed to be doing.
Let's change the subject. I'm actually surprised you don't even recognize me.
Huh?
I used to sit back here. I would always watch you from that direction.
From the back row? I usually don't look at that area. Sorry.
That's fine. Are you going to eat those?
He points at my gift. Oh. I'll save those for later.
Really? I wouldn't suggest eating those disgusting rosemary cookies. Can you believe she loves those more than lemon cookies?
Rosemary cookies? I hate rosemary. Luna loves them though.
Don't eat them. Trust me.
I'll pass them on to Luna then. Thanks for the warning.
Anyways, I heard strange rumors about you. You always seem so happy every day, but you seem to show a different side. It looks like I was able to see it today.
That's right. I suppose you're not very fond of me now.
I hate it.
Huh?
When people start spreading rumors, they're going to listen to more than one person at a time. They don't want to listen to you, they don't want to talk to you. It sucks, doesn't it?
I shammered a bit. It wasn't something I hear every day from someone, especially from a child. I looked at his expression when I thought he was joking, judging from his eyebrows tilted down and his lips not curled up. He was not joking at all.
Well, we can confirm something else too. Luna, our current Aria goddess, is no good with children. And yet, they still honor her as their goddess. Not exactly you, even though you two share the same soul.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not the right goddess for them. Some say I'm just here to steal her powers.
Well, they're just a bunch of jerks. Don't listen to them.
But they're my people. I have to be a proper Arya goddess to them. I mean, I might not be a good goddess. Am I not capable of this?
I guess we have the same thoughts then.
Huh? Where is this coming from?
I don't know. You mentioned birds not wanting to hear your voice. I mean, I don't get along with a lot of kids at school. I always get in trouble with the teachers over nothing. I also don't get along with my family. Does that mean I'm a bad kid?
Well, you treated your sister very horribly.
You should have seen the way she treated me too. Those birds are right. You really are a dumb bird.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
Say that again. I see.
I'm not siding with anyone. I'm speaking the truth.
I guess I'm not good for anyone then.
That's not true. I know you're better than anyone else.
Oh yeah? You barely even know me. You know what? Just leave me alone.
The child lowered his head, making my chest tinge heavily in guilt at the harsh truth. He was right. I don't even know him one bit. But he can't stay like this. It's not healthy for him. I'm not leaving you like this. Is there anything I can do for you?
What the heck is your problem? Why can't you just leave me alone?
You shouldn't say those horrible words to others. How in the world am I going to help you if you're just going to act this way? You're completely selfish. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. My father would say that a lot whenever I get angry and...
You sound just like my father. I guess you're not as stupid as that girl is.
That girl? You're talking about your sister? Isn't she your family?
She is not my sister. I'm adopted. All I had was my father, and now he's gone.
Now it makes sense. He is an outsider. This child. I can't help but to be reminded of something. Something so nostalgia.
I was forced to transfer to another school because of my new parents. I hate this place. It's full of stupid, spoiled kids who think they can do anything. I miss my friends. And most of all, I miss singing with you too.
Singing with me?
Yeah, my foster father would often take me to work to let me hear your voice. I like the lyrics you wrote. It reflects a lot of my life. Plus, my foster father is a widower. It's always hard to see him cry at home every day. You might not remember him, but I remember you wrote music and sang for him. The look on his face was brilliant. If it weren't for you, then my dad would have never recovered from his long sorrow from the loss of my mother. I haven't had the chance to thank you yet.
Oh, it's nothing. I actually write music daily just to cope with many sorrows and sorrows. It's what I do.
Really? Other birds say you can write any music for them, and it would sound good. Even your lyrics would fit their current feelings too. Even when they're just relaxing in some flower field or something. Your songs are different from what Mr. Emerson usually writes. His music is nothing but boring traditional music.
Oh, really? Is that what children think about me? That makes me feel so happy.
Maybe it's fine for me to not go back anyway. After being so angry at her again, I bet she's going to act all whiny and stuff just to get her parents to believe her. Again, they're going to punish me for this. I have nothing. And I have nowhere else to go. I was born alone, and I'll always be alone. I might as well survive alone for the rest of eternity. Maybe it was a bad idea to approach to you. See ya.
Wait!
What?
How about I tell you a story?
A story? Sounds boring.
What? My stories are not boring. Come, sit next to me.
Fine.
I'm sure you'll like this one. Let's start with here. When I was around your age, I was homeless. I had to survive by stealing food and drinking some of the dirty water that was near me. I had no memories of my parents in my past, and yet I still wanted to survive. But I can only think of negative things. I even had to deal with a voice in my head saying that someone is going to kill me. I screamed day and night, annoying the birds around me and even scaring some of their children off. I was so scared of myself. I didn't know what was wrong with me, so I stayed away from schools and other parents who wished to adopt me and such. Eventually, no one wanted me. I had thoughts of dying so many times, even killing myself too. Nobody would care if I died, but the voices in my head said not to, or that someone would kill me instead. So I kept on living on, listening to the voices in my head for so many years. I don't even know why I couldn't die, but I still lived to see this day. I looked down at my bare wrists, which were as clear as the sky. There were no scars around. It was because of my special ability from that place. One day, I snuck inside a cabin, a well-made cabin that seemed to be there for quite a short time. I find myself in an apple garden and ate most of the sweet apples that were freshly grown by a single man.
Isn't that the guy who walks around the nest to sell apples every day?
Yes, that man happens to be my foster father.
Oh, I heard he had a daughter. But I didn't know it was you.
Really? Where did you think I came from?
As some royal family or something?
There's no way I would want to live with them.
You don't?
I shook my head. I was never interested in living in a luxury. Anyways, you know what happened next? I was caught by him, but I couldn't run because my body felt so strange at that time. I felt something growing inside of me, but it was so painful that I fainted. After that, I woke up in a soft bed. Then I saw a beautiful smile shining upon me. The man who called himself Mr. Crimson said if I needed a place to live, then I could live with him. He lives alone, as he stated, that both his wife and his daughter were lost forever around 200 years ago. He must have been lonely after all these years, just the way I've always felt for my entire life. After that, we became a happy little family. Oh, and I also got really lucky that he was friends with Mr. Emerson too. That's how I went through some intense vocal training with him, and I was one of the candidates for becoming a goddess. But I didn't make the auditions because of my past. I lost all hopes until Luna approached me and made me one with her. I guess I must have gotten lucky, right? To meet both my foster father and Luna. The boy nodded his head. His eyes were focused on me the entire time. It was a good sign. He was listening to me the entire time. Even when I was just telling him a below-average story that was titled, My Past, My Life. Was it really that intriguing to him?
Why are you telling me all this? This has nothing to do with me.
Or maybe not. I know, but I really wanted to tell you since you reminded me of myself from before. If I had never met my foster father, I would have ended up just the way you are right now, Someone who is lost, empathetic, and even alone. You don't want to be that kind of person, now do you?
I hate it when my teachers say that.
What did you say to them?
If you experience a lot of things, then you learn a lot of things. You'll learn more about yourself and others too.
That sounds like something that Luna would say to me. How many times have she repeated these words? For a century, I have doubted myself so many times. I still cannot control that spirit. I mean, how can I experience and learn things on my own if that gets in my way?
Miss?
Oh, sorry. You were saying?
I said you've already experienced being homeless. And it looks like you learned how to survive in the nest without proper shelter, food, and water. That sounds cool.
How is that cool? It's not fun being desperate for a normal life every day.
But you get to learn more about yourself. At least you get to enjoy the more simple things in life. Like watching the sky and watching the knights patrol around the nest. Didn't you ever think about those when you were homeless?
I think so. My head always hurts every time I try to think about it. Maybe it is best to forget about it, right? Many birds do that to look to their future. Perhaps it must have been my imaginations or something. Or maybe it's that spirit that's messing with my past memories again.
Can you teach me how to survive the outside world sometime?
You still want to learn how to survive like that?
It's not like that. I want to survive because I want to live for my dad. He always says to never let anything stop me. I shouldn't let this dumb family stop me from living on for myself, more than taking care of their stupid daughter in the future.
Goddess, if only I could meet your father. If only I knew my real father.
Well, don't let me stop you.
The boy stood up from his desk.
I should probably go. I don't want to get in trouble with them. Can I come visit you sometime?
With his eyes shining with the sun, he looks up the ceiling, gazing at the sun blazing into his eyes. His pale lavender eyes widen in curiosity. Good. It looks like he's feeling better now. I'll be there at the altar soon. You know where to find me. May the Kunabelian goddesses bless you.
You're Lucia La Crimson, right?
Yes, I am. He gave out a small smile.
I'll be sure to remember that name.
The boy walked out, leaving me alone to feel so satisfied again. Another child is now cheered by me, and most of all, he's able to be motivated to live well in his childhood for the time being. Looking around at the empty classroom, I couldn't help but to see the seat the boy was sitting in earlier. Was he there before? I truly don't remember. I shouldn't think too much about this. I have to get back to Luna. Let's take my shoes off and run. After putting my shoes back on, I stepped back into a very familiar area. Luna was sitting on the staircase, sipping tea and nibbling her cookies. That reminds me, I may have accidentally left my cookies in the classroom. Oops.
Oh, you're back! Is there something wrong?
No, everything is fine. So, Luna, why are you sipping tea at a place like this?
I was waiting for you to get back here. I wanted to show you something. Come, my dear.
Luna?
Yes.
About earlier. I'm sorry.
About what? You have your own opinion, and I have mine. Our disagreements would lead to conflict, but we have to learn from each other and work things out together. Would you mind talking about this later? Here we are, Lucia. You might want to close your eyes for a bit.
Luna, why are we in the graveyards again?
No one would come here as frequently as I do.
You keep repeating that it's always your favorite place to be in.
Yes, but I would always come here often after work.
According to my servants, she would always stay here from afternoon till the late evening. What's so good about that? I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to offend her. Instead, I stared at her face for a long time. She always seemed so serious and anxious at the same time. Perhaps her duty as a goddess. She probably would want to honor the Emerson descendants, or perhaps the previous goddesses that ruled Kunabella before. I don't know. Luna, can I ask you something? Today she's rather concentrate on these areas. Luna, what's wrong with her? Her face remained calm and steady, not making a wink or even making a movement from her body. She stood firm, moving her eyes from one tombstone to another.
The Emersons' loyalty towards their goddess is very strong. They would do anything to join their goddess in the Lost Realm. Why do you think they are the creators of the Umbrian weapons?
Umbrian? Aren't those weapons that can kill a bird and a goddess?
Yes, they would kill themselves with those weapons to protect their goddess in death, leaving their offspring to stay with their next goddess as well.
I've heard of it, but there's nothing we can do about it. Every time I do, I feel so sad for the children. To hear about the parents leaving them during their childhood.
Your reaction is the same as everyone else's. There was nothing anyone could do about this. Not even the Emerson's deputies can do anything about it either.
Why does the Emerson family need deputies for themselves, though?
They are here for extra protection from the Emerson family. Don't you know about this? Mr. Emerson's grandfather was a victim of a forbidden spell.
A forbidden spell? What?
It's nothing. The tome.
Tome?
If only we had one, then I would have summarized what happened to him.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I should have taken it in the first place.
It's okay, Lucia. I can tell you about it. Each tome says he was drinking a cup of tea and swallowed something. He took no concern of it until he felt a great amount of pain in his throat. Trying to talk and sing was very painful. He went to a healer, but it was too late. Something had swelled inside his throat, blocking his ability to breathe. Investigators found something inside of him. A flower and a bunch of vines that surrounded his body.
Ew. Didn't he felt all that?
Nobody knows. He was known to mask his pain and feelings. Rumors say that a mysterious Nosurian female bird served him that tea. No one knows her current whereabouts.
Oh, right. I heard the first one was a woman. The one who, Sorry, I shouldn't talk about this here.
It's okay, Lucia. This is what the deputies are for, Lucia. As an extra eye, they can also fight others too.
Oh, I see.
Anyways, all of our tomes say that all of the Emerson families are known as loyal protectors to all the Kunabillian people and their goddesses. So many of them have dispelled themselves to save their home.
What are you talking about, Luna? We have all this time to protect Kunabella. Sure, we only have one life to spare from now on, but at least we lived for a purpose.
Did you notice something about these graves?
Does each grave only have the Emerson's names?
You're on the right track. But what else?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Lucia, you're really close. You may have noticed that there are no Arya goddesses' names engraved on any stones. Surely you would have noticed that a while ago.
I, I honestly don't. Now that I see it for sure, not many goddesses are exactly mentioned in Kunabella. Is there a problem with that?
Even yours as well.
Huh? Luna turned to me. Her eyes were darkened, making my body shiver like crazy. What's going on? Luna has suddenly become completely different.
Tell me, do you still want to be an Arya goddess?
What? Haven't you asked me this so many times already? Of course I do. More than anything.
Are you really sure about this?
Being an Arya goddess has been my dream for my entire life. I practice every day on my instruments, and I wrote so many music to connect with my people. I don't care about the circumstances. Just what are you getting at?
Even though you will be recognized when you're alive, you won't be recognized when you are lost forever. Is that what you want? Even when our lives are shortened by possessing the goddess's soul? Even when it's only half of her soul, our lives are much shorter than they were before.
Stop! I don't want to hear it anymore! Luna, what are you doing? I just want to be an Arya goddess! I just want to be with my people for the rest of my days! Is that too much to ask?
If you wish to cease your position, tell me right here and now. Will it be eternal life or everlasting death? You know we are no longer phoenixes. We live long, but we don't live forever. We only have one life to spare, never to be reborn as any other birds out there.
What is she talking about? Is she playing games with me? This isn't right. This isn't right at all. Luna, don't you remember the first time we met? We became Arya goddesses for our own free will. If we are committed to it, then we should stay like this until the day we die! Why are you making me drop this position now? Didn't you promise me that you will support my decisions, no matter what?
You really don't know anything yet.
No, it's you that doesn't know anything. You've been an Arya goddess for 500 years. You're staying in Kunabella for a purpose. Never to leave. Always there to protect so many Kunabellians' lives.
You're right. There is a purpose for me to stay in Kunabella for the rest of my time. I want you to hear me out.
No, you listen to me. You gave me half of your soul just to make me your secondary goddess. Can't just take it back. I would go back to being a worthless being again. You just want it back, do you?
That's not what I'm saying. Please, I need you to listen to me.
I just need some time to think. I'm sorry. Confused, I ran out of the door, going back to the entrance. As I ran in the hallways with tears blurring my eyes, an evil laugh echoed in my head. See, Lucia, I told you so. Shut up! Shut up! I don't want to hear it! You're just here to possess me again! No! Leave me alone!
No, it can't be. Lucia, can you hear me?
Screaming out of nowhere, I caught the attention of all the servants at the entrance. Some showed worried expressions, while others shook their head and walked away. I'm yelling out of nowhere again. I should get used to this. The feeling of my people judging me as a complete freak. Yes, I am a complete freak, a nuisance in everyone's perspective. Just as Luna said to me a while ago, I'm not fit to be an Arya goddess if this keeps going on.
Miss, are you all right?
Suddenly, a gentle voice reached towards me. Looking up, I see a man offering his hand to me. His gentle eyes looking straight at me made my chest tingle. Those eyes. How long has someone looked at me that way? With such concern to a complete stranger. Sir, I wouldn't suggest you talk to this woman.
Why shouldn't I? She needs some help, right?
She can handle herself. Move along, sir.
Now. Is there a reason why I would want to ignore such a pretty bird like her?
You mustn't think of her as a regular bird. She is associated with the Emerson family, and she will be working alongside me for a very long time.
You're a goddess? You're not wearing their crest.
Only a full-fledged goddess can wear the symbol.
Of course. Only a goddess can wear it.
Lucia, please, just listen to—
No! You've been saying these same words for the last 2 centuries! Who would want to listen to your perfect little self? You're so selfish all the time. All you care about is yourself. Stupid Luna. She always says that everything is going to be fine in her own way, but it's not.
Things have turned for the worst.